when I'm talking to CCS volunteers in particular, but this certainly goes for all the staff as well, I found this quote from Margaret Mead that to me just sums it all up. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. And has the CCS changed the world? Yes. Yes. I told you that we have a vibrant cancer research community. We would not have had that without the Canadian Cancer Society. That community achieves world-leading impact, most cost-effective, and there's not a doubt in my mind that none of this would have been accomplished if the Cancer Society didn't continue to do what it does. With continued dedication, with continued funding from the public, from the CCS, from your donor base, and with the continued creativity and excellence from the research community and NCIC's ability to pick those winners, there is no doubt we will, not we might, we will cure more and more cancers. And for those that we can't outright cure, we will increasingly turn cancer from that feared and dreaded disease that you die from into a much more manageable disease that you live with. And I want to leave you with another Made in Canada success story. It's the story of Dr. Brenda Galley, who's an ophthalmologist in Toronto, and Dr. Helen Chan, who's a medical oncologist at Sick Kids in Toronto. But really, more than their story, it's a story of a family called the Hodnots. They hail from London, Ontario. Dad, Terry, who's in his, I guess, mid-40s now, had a cancer called retinoblastoma, which is a cancer of the eye. It manifested itself when he was a young lad of about 3. 40-odd years ago, the usual course of the disease was that you lost physically the one eye to the tumors, and almost always you lost the sight and the vision in the other eye, because the best that we could do then is sort of whole head radiation, and the cancer would usually spread through the optic nerve to the other eye. And in most cases, kids with retinoblastoma ended up being blind in both eyes. And indeed, Terry is not sighted. He's been sightless since the age of 3. Riley, who I guess must be about 10 now, in the intervening time, we'd learned a lot about retinoblastoma. We learned that you have to diagnose it early. You have to treat it pretty aggressively. But the aggressive treatment now, through Helen Chan's work and others, we didn't have to do radiation. We had very selective chemotherapy and some other regimens that she had developed. So with the early diagnosis and the better treatment, Riley was indeed diagnosed with retinoblastoma. Unfortunately, was treated aggressively. He did lose the sight in the one affected eye, but he's fine in the other eye. And so here is a kid who, by all accounts, runs around and would run circles around us and does what rambunctious 10-year-olds are supposed to do, which is not have a care in the world. A couple of years later, their daughter Katie, in the intervening couple of years, we'd now learned how to identify the gene responsible for retinoblastoma and be able to diagnose even earlier. Now an in utero test was done, so even before Patty delivered, she was tested. Katie was found, unfortunately, to have the retinoblastoma gene, treated aggressively, treated early, delivered actually a month early and treated quickly, and is 20/20 in both eyes. And so back in 2004, Terry came to a conference that NCIC put on, stood up there and said, "I want to thank the power of research for saving 3 out of the 4 eyes of my children." That's the kind of impact that you make on real people, real families. It's not just stuff in a lab anymore. It's real families, it's real people, it's real life. So to come back to the very first question, are we really making any progress? Just ask them. Just ask them. So I hope through all of this that I've shown you that the partnership between the National Cancer Institute of Canada and the Canadian Cancer Society is not only a remarkable partnership, but one which is making real impacts in the lives of Canadians and people around the world. It's not just the Hodnot family, it's families like them all across this country, and every one of you deserves a piece of the credit for that phenomenal success, and you should be proud of that.